Good evening. Good evening. Give me 1 second here, guys. So, how are you? Welcome to the last day of March.
It is. It is the last day of March. It's been a windy, rainy, sunny. I think it did everything.
It did. It did. It was a little of everything all added into one.
Quite the March exit.
Right. So, there's been some schedule changes. We'll take care of those first. The energy overview will be tomorrow night.
Okay. Yeah, we
Go for it.
I think we should explain a little. Right. So Aeson Psychic Saturday got a little hairy. Not because of Aeson. We had a visitor. If you guys had been listening, you would have heard we had a visitor. The Invisible's mother was down, and on her way home Saturday, she had some vehicular malfeasance. Nothing major. Yep. It's actually already fixed. It costs more to tow the car than to fix the car by an order of magnitude.
Yeah, a scary magnitude.
Yeah, one of those scary moments. It was a radiator hose. So we were very grateful. She was about an hour out from us and an hour away from home, so like almost dead center.
Right.
When the hose blew, and so they've already gotten that fixed on the other end. But she had to have the car towed because she was on the side of 79 when that happened. While she was on 79 when it happened, had to quickly find the side of 79. So yeah. So we ended up going to sit and wait with her. It took a while to get the other mommy-in-law.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we went up and waited with her while that was happening in the middle of Psychic Saturday. Could not have timed out between appointments better if it tried.
I know.
Like
everything was just divine.
Yeah, it worked out great. It was no big deal.
Right.
We had a moment when she was like having a moment of determination that she was going to fix this on the side of 79, and we're like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then while she was waiting, or while we were waiting, one of the trucks passed, and it literally, the air current like basically flexed her hood, and she's like, oh yeah, glad we're not doing that.
Yeah, because it's like, no, this cannot happen. This is not 1971 or 1985. I am not young enough to go underneath the car anymore, and neither are you.
Well, and it's one of those moments, like if it had not been 79,
right,
this may have been a more considerable item.
Right.
Of like, okay, let's go grab the hoses, meet her, you know. But where she was, it was like, no. No.
Like, if we had dropped a screw, we would have never found it. They may find it in prehistorical times.
Yeah.
It just was not a good working environment
for
her or me.
Or for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they got the car hooked up, they got it towed, and got it dropped off, and then they were able to safely work on it in her driveway.
Right.
So yeah.
So, this is the quarter review. We're starting Q2 tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So how was your quarter?
It's not been bad. It's been heavy.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of things kind of finally hit their natural end.
Right.
A little off my schedule, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
Right.
Like we're starting to hit for quarter two to be the starting point.
Right.
Of a few different projects.
Yes, you're getting ready to have a lovely big compound board again. My Q1 has been okay. Like, it wasn't the insanity that it could have been. Was it the Star Spangled Banner of Qs? No. I needed some more buffer time planned in there. Cat. I needed a little bit more focus time planned in there. And, that's okay. Like, we didn't get a lot of the projects done. Some of them have been moved. Some of them have been decided not worth it. Stop it.
Yeah. So Not a Mind Ninja says, never had a quarter so bad, but good catalyst to do different. So roll with it. No more robbing my soul in mass. All the best to all of you. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like that seems to, I think, sum up for a lot of people how the first quarter of 2024 went.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
It was insane. It was busy.
It was definitely a lot. And nothing quite ran according to plan, but it seems to all be like finally in the last moment.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Delivered. DiGiorno delivered.
Is it delivery or DiGiorno?
That is always the question.
Yes. So no, I don't know. I think a lot of things came together, just not on the time scale I meant for them to be. But
right.
I'm kind of rolling into Q2. Like, all right, we got new things to start. We got to roll. Right. So and those things are starting out nicely.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of encouraged. I've got a website that's going to be getting built. I'm pretty sure we have that project in the bag. Right. The client is thrilled with their preview idea.
Cool.
Like they were over the moon. The logo really did it for them.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "Where did you get the logo?" And I'm like, I made it. It's like, if you don't like it, everything's changeable. It's still at that phase.
Right.
This is a preview. Like, if you hate the colors, we'll change the colors. If you hate the logo, we'll change the logo. And they're like, no, this is everything I wanted.
Right.
And I'm like, awesome. So I got to meet with them, and we'll start moving forward on that one. There's a lot of things that have to occur, but the preview gets us on the same page.
Right.
So always excited when a preview goes well, and that's always a good sign.
It is. Yeah. So my quarter went well. My schedule has been insane. We did get the classes we wanted. We got 90% of the podcasts.
Yeah. Oh, Brenda says Shannon said to tell us she's not here because she's getting her tattoo.
Yay!
Yay! Awesome.
You can watch the replay.
Yes, absolutely.
things that did go well is the weight loss went well.
Mm-hmm.
We are down, I think Doc said 28 pounds.
Something like that, yeah.
Yep. We've done two successful runs of injections. That's good.
Yep.
Yep.
We identified a lot of your stomach issue. It is not what we thought it was.
Right.
So that's always a good thing. This has a chance to be a totally different process. It's because
Right.
it's a different problem, and the problem is a better problem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes problems are like, oh, that's really bad, and that's a bad problem to have.
Right.
This is not the same problem you thought it was. It's the barley thing.
Right.
Is it's looking like, and so there's a secondary possible problem.
Right.
That you were booked up to go see a doctor for to find out if that's part of the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that would be an improvement.
Yeah.
Because if that's been the issue all along and not what you were thinking was going on, again, it's a better problem to have.
Yep.
So well, not a mind ninja. Wow, that is a tongue twister. We hope you enjoy listening later. And hi, this is your slate for where you need to pick back up. Right. But yeah.
So weight loss is going good. We're getting diet in line. We're getting all that good. So all the personal stuff is good. The business side has held steady.
Yeah.
We did launch a new network first of the year. It's still in launch mode. We gotta love Tarosophy.
Yeah, Taropolis.
Yeah.
We'll get it right.
We'll get it right.
It's the biggest problem I have with this network is the name.
Well, that, they're still building
trust. It looks pretty. It's so pretty looking name. But it's also one of those you look at it and go, how the hell you say that?
Right.
I'm from West Virginia. How the hell do you pronounce that? Right. You know what I mean? It's one of those, it just does not want to roll off the tongue.
Right. So, those are going well. So I'm moving in and I redone my compound board. Let's take a look at it. Let's talk our way through it because we're still keeping the same annual goals, but there's some projects added to it.
Awesome.
There we go. Yes, I've moved back into Trello for my board.
He was all excited earlier.
Yeah, because, there's no sticky notes to be going, zoom in on the picture. This is where this one is. This one is this one. All right. So classically, a compound board has 3 columns, which is to do, doing, done. This is Aeson's take on it because there's things that aren't to do together done. They're growing things. They're things that we got to track, so it makes them task. But this is how we're laying the projects out. Of course, I need to build this independent house system because, guys, the house needs cleaned. Yeah. With me being down and me being the cornerstone, things aren't there.
Yeah. Well, because I end up spending long days in my office and I can't go anywhere.
Right.
Or conversely, I'm on the road and I'm not here.
Exactly.
This is the dichotomy of my life.
Right.
When I'm here, I can't leave my office.
Right.
When I leave my office, I can't be here.
Right. And I'm going to add a card here because I left one off of my personal thing that I'm adding. So you just type it in, hit add card. And I like to go in here and hit cover, open card, change the cover, and let's go find a picture. Because I'm a visual person.
See, this is why I thought Trello was so perfect for you in the beginning, and I was so mad.
Yeah.
That that experience got ruined for you.
Right.
So, yep, tanning 3 times a week.
And this is part of my self-care.
Yeah, where's the tanning bed? Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes there's not perfect images, but there should be some nice, decent images. You know what? This works.
This would have been a bigger one. Oh well, happy sunny picture. That's all we needed.
Yep. Let's search for something better.
Yeah. I like the. Okay, well, you found one.
Yep.
That works.
All right.
So you got your tanning.
Yep. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to add a checklist. And I've got some checklists preset.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I can just go in and check it off each week I do it. So those cards really aren't going to move during the month.
Mm.
Our business goals. I want to increase income by 10%, 20%, and 30% because, of course, we do better, good, best. So if we hit 10% mark this month, that'll move to the complete one. 20% there, 30% there. So those move. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the growing social. As we hit those marks, they'll move over. But like Film All Podcast, that isn't going to move to the end of the month, the end of the quarter. Upload to podcast to Spotify. These have checklists in them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's a new creative project you see here.
Yes.
Yes. I'm working on a shadow project. I got to finish writing the basic descriptions for all that. That's a checklist item. There's built-in checklist. For running the handwritten, so I'm going to handwrite it out. What I think needs to be in a psychic planner. The reels, again, a checklist is built. I also need to work on building a psychic weekly system. This is my paycheck system because we need to get back into paychecks. This living deposit to deposit is driving Aeson batty.
Yes. Aeson's not the only one getting driven batty with that. Because it's one of those things. It's like it's what we had to do,
right?
But it's like no, we got to get away from it. Like it's got to end.
Yeah, because I'd like to get it to where we don't have a paycheck except once a month.
Yeah.
But
like all the money comes into one account, it sits there and looks pretty till the end of the month, and then it goes boop to the account we needed it.
Right. All right. So the reading business goals. Reading 70 hours per week. We're going back to the 70 hours per week. Yes, I know it's taxing, but looking at the numbers, we'll be able to do it easy. Yeah. Completing 85% of my weekly tasks. We can do 85%.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Recording the daily transactions. This is becoming even more important because some networks have decided they want to change banks, and we've noticed a lack in service.
Oh, well, yeah. It's deposit. Well, maybe that's a question to put out to everyone else. Is like with your own, experience right now. Is it just us, or is like banking taken a slowdown?
Right.
Like it's just like it's like your deposits are taking a little nap.
Right.
Before they hit your account. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah. So we got to get back to tracking those a little bit more closer. Taking over West Virginia Psychic. West Virginia Psychic was a website that I tried to build a co-op on. Yeah. The co-op really didn't work. So
no.
It's going to become a feeder site for me. So we're going to be taking it over and building it. And of course, I need to relaunch my social media campaigns. Guys, I know I've been really sucking in those. We're going to be working on that.
Okay.
All right. So then we move over to the coaching business. Filming the first 2 modules of the coaching series. I want to refilm those to be more presentational so that we can begin building it out to be a self-run course, to where all that is really required for that class is for me to run the courses, run the course and do the live calls. Of course, Inner Circle needs to hold 2 classes in April. And I'd like to freshen the site up and really work on leading people to Inner Circle, for those that want the Wicca training or want the psychic development training, who want the life coaching service training. So that's all that's on my compound board.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Now, you don't use a compound board.
I do not. You could say I do, but it's more mental. I end up with like rolling project schedule. So and I currently am already up to 3 as I start Q2 that are going to be running concurrently. Actually 4. Eesh. Oh, the 4th one I can hold off a little bit on.
Right.
So it looks like it's going to be at least a 4 project quarter.
Right.
Possibly more.
Right.
So I do have one client. Looks like we're like this close to the go ahead. I just have to go see them.
Right.
And then I have that one website project. I have a second client that we've already been in talks for ages, that we're ready to pull the plug on. Not like in their life support, but I mean like we're ready to move forward finally.
What if I need to charge my phone?
Do what now?
Oh, you've seen that meme.
I didn't hear you. I needed you to repeat yourself.
I said, what if I need to charge my phone?
No. Your phone can die. Ooh, he said it. He said it. But no, so that's going to be a 4 website movement with it looks like so far at least 2 redesigns, if not a possible 3rd.
Okay.
But those will be happening in place, and it's going to actually be more helping the client to do their own redesign. Based on my experience, not necessarily having to do all of it per se.
Right.
Like they're very self-sufficient. They know what they're doing. The problem has been their web host was garbage. And it's left them in a lurch because like they've been fighting to keep these 4 websites alive. So that's going to be fun.
What?
I like it's a lot of movements. It's a lot of movements. Then I have a whole class series that I need to do. And I actually plan to start that at the beginning of February. So we are about 2 months behind on my time scale for that one. Thankfully, I have a few more months to get that all done, and ready to go. Because at the end of this year, I'm going to be taking over, fingers crossed, taking over support of another client's system, because their service provider, that is supposed to be providing support,
is not.
Well, they are the most expensive ways possible.
Right.
And this is a nonprofit organization. Of course, with any nonprofit, your biggest concern is where's the money going.
Right.
And the problems that they're having are not that complex per se. But there's a certain level of professionalism not being met.
Right.
Let's call it that. I think that's probably the fairest way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what they're doing, but it's a support for concept that I don't particularly like.
Mm-hmm.
That predominantly relies on just doing whatever the client asks for, even when you know that's not what the client needs.
Right.
And the bigger problem here is that this is a mostly volunteer-based program,
right?
With a very low budget.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger issue being they also are not necessarily the most technologically adept client.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of their volunteers are older.
Right.
So, and it's not an insult. They're very much doing a great job with the technology that they have, which I think was a little overbuilt.
Right.
But the problem comes in that in trying to communicate with that service provider, articulating properly what's going on and what their problem is and what they need.
Right.
There's a double-edged sword occurring. One is they lack the clear language to do that. But part two is this service provider is supporting the system the hardest way possible.
Right.
And then leaving it up to whatever the client asks for, they gladly do.
Of course.
Unfortunately, it's one of those situations when they're having a problem, they don't always know what the problem is. They're having to ask for a level of support that really is more than they need.
Right.
Or isn't what they need, or it doesn't address the problem.
Right.
So they've paid a lot of service calls for no improvements.
And that's not good. That's not our mission when we're working service calls. All right. So let's dig in, start building and putting together our planner. March has been moved out. It now lives in its own little planner. We're keeping it for the end of the year. Unfortunately, my expander rings are full, so it gets its own planner set.
Yay! So Brenda says, watch his cell shut down now. I said your cell could die. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You just reminded me to put it on neutral. All right. So this month is a 28-day month. All right, go. Because we'll end on the 29th. For the 30th, we'll go into the next planner. That's the way we roll. Pull you guys in.
Sorry, I was struggling with that sentence for a minute. I was like, no, that would have been February. That was 29 this year.
Yeah. Yep. It's because the next calendar will start out on the 29th and run through May. All right. So let's get some dates in here. This front one is my work calendar. The second calendar is the podcast appointments, shows, that type of thing. So let's work on the work calendar first. All right. I have a day out of the office. I got to see what day that is.
I believe it's the 10th.
I'm strictly moving to all personal lives in the 6 ring.
Yes. Which it's kind of interesting. We've been having a conversation. So while you're finding that,
yes,
it's looking like Happy Planner has gone a direction,
right?
And you actually had some news on that front. That basically being able to buy your Happy Planner in store is most likely not going to be a a
A
thing.
thing. Yeah.
Like it's gone.
Right.
The Happy Planner, it appears, has lost some major store contract.
Territory.
Yeah.
So
Like,
with
yeah, the stores are dropping them.
Right. So what my plan of action is currently is that we will use Happy Planner for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to be looking for a printer service.
Yes.
Because hopefully by the end of the year, we will have perfected the Psychic That Plans Planner.
Mm-hmm.
And 2025, I will be running my own system in a disc-bound planner with everything I need built into it.
Yes.
Yes. Instead of a lot of
Oh, go ahead.
Instead of a lot of the prep work and pre-work I have to do to make the planner fit in the hole.
Yes. Because it is actually becoming a repeatable system now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
I just found it very interesting that Happy Planner managed to lose these stores.
Yeah.
Like this is what the investment group has managed in what, 2 years?
2 years. 1 year was a fail. Like none of their planners were worth buying.
Mm-mm. And here we are, like basically getting ready to hit the big drops of year 2.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere to drop them because the stores dropped them.
Well, I dropped them. They've dropped their spring collection, which is their 18-month planners.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, we've done better planners.
Yeah. I find it interesting. This had, like, I remember 2, maybe 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You were on a rant about the fact that it was getting really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
That these were just the most Christian planners this
Mm-hmm.
year. That everything was God and Jesus just slapped all over them. And then here 2 years later, without actually satisfying the market,
Mm-hmm.
they might as well have done a planner that was all about abortion and Satanism for how the stores are embracing them right now.
Especially like Hobby Lobby. Like when I started using Happy Planner, when he finally him and Alexis Trenchcoat, Miss Trenchcoat Online, convinced me to go to Discbound.
Right.
It's more flexible. You can do more with it. Yada, yada, yada.
Not untrue.
Not untrue. Like, it's a wonderful system, and there's a lot of providers out there that can do this. And I really like her stuff. Like, the task list I use come from Miss Trenchcoat. I don't like her CEO planner because it's too small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brenda points out, I hate that I find one I love and a year or 2 later it's totally different. That has driven him up a wall. And it's not just that, it's that, like, the investment group that bought out Happy Planner and started releasing it, they have changed so many things. And the way they sell the product now really dropped a lot of value for the customer. Which I totally get, it's an investment group. They try to maximize that profitability.
Right.
Reduce all your costs, like cut your staff, make everything repeatable as you can make it, and then try to basically make everything as universal.
Well, I get that idea, but when you have lines like Go Getter or Girl with Goals was the original name of it, then it changed to Go Getter.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Goal Getter? Wasn't it Goal Getter?
It was originally Girl Boss, then it became Girl with Goals, and then it was Go Getter.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I missed that last iteration.
No, you didn't, because I'm going, I need to buy every pack of these that we got, because these are a limited edition and they're not going to be out.
Right. Well, and then, yeah, and especially like Brenda's talking about, like, even the packs changed.
Right.
And it was, that was nuts.
Yeah.
It was, because you had a moment, you were like, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I've used, this is awesome, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
And out of the clear blue sky.
Yeah, you saw me throwing a pack across the room within the same series.
Yeah. Like, it was supposed to have been the exact same stuff.
Right.
Like, it's under... It looks the same. It's in the same packaging. It has the same name on it.
Right.
So you pick it up off the shelf. You think, this is what I bought last time.
Right.
And then get it home, and he starts looking at it, and he's like, that's not right.
Right.
Like, this isn't my pack.
Yeah, this isn't what I need.
It looks like it, but it doesn't do the things.
Right.
And it was like, and I'm looking at him like, maybe you just went crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how does that happen?
Well, and then he's like, you've got to be mistaken. And I had it in my planner because we were using it. Because here's the sticker book from it, guys. I'm using it. Because we bought a ton of these too.
Yeah.
And I handed it to him and I said, look at it. It doesn't have my weekly task list. It doesn't have my follow-up things. It doesn't have the squares that I use each day.
Mm-hmm. Totally evaporated.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our first inkling of what they were doing.
Right.
Is that they were capitalizing on some of the really well-bought product names.
Right.
But changing them.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm guessing with the stores, this has mostly been because the product has just been shelf setting.
I don't know.
Like, it's running its cycle, ending up in clearance, and then it's just not worth it.
Right. I don't know. I know that they've reduced its aisle size. It's reduced all of it.
Yeah, they've reduced aisle size, or shelf space twice now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was an entire aisle.
Right.
And then it got shrunk a little.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got massively shrunk down.
Right.
And now it's looking like, we're not even setting up for...
Right.
Because this usually is their big drop period.
It is. They came out. Like, they dropped this weekend. Normally 3 weeks in, we'd forget it. No. What we are seeing, however, is a product line that I'm going to say bluntly, refuse to use.
Yes. That is eating their lunch.
Yeah.
And then there's another product line that has also struggled.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you want to like it. I want to like it.
Right.
It's pretty. It looks nice. It's very professionally done in terms of like how it looks. But it falls in that you had me and then you lost me.
Right.
In terms of its function. It's like you almost got it right, but you need to keep working on it.
Right.
And that's the Park Lane.
They killed that one.
Oh, that one's dead?
That one's dead.
Oh crap! That was like my for sure. Like, this is going to be a company to watch for 2024.
Right.
So never mind. I guess that one finally died.
Right.
We weren't sure how it was lasting before.
We were like,
yeah, because it was gorgeous. It was well made. But their functionality just it was a swing and a miss every time.
Right.
Like, just every time. It's like you almost got it, but then you went a direction.
Right.
Wow, that's really sad. I thought that would be. I was expecting you to make a massive, like, Park Lane haul and go, okay, we're going to make this work.
Well, we did. We made a massive haul.
Yeah.
But it was to the clearance section.
Yeah.
Like, we wrapped up because I loved the covers. I liked their paper. I did not like everything about it.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Was the actual functionality of it was just
the paper quality was shit.
Oh, was it another shit paper?
Yeah, like the reason I use Happy Planner a lot is because of the paper quality. And
or it was.
But they're just stopping. Like, I have to order online, and what happens is I order online and I get something that I don't like. Ordered a notebook, 2 notebooks. When I ordered the year's planner, I know I need notebooks, so I ordered 2 of them. Love the dividers, wonderful. Okay, I'll put up with this little, Find Joy Simply. Wonderful.
Find joy in simplicity.
Yeah, wonderful. We'll deal with it. We'll put a sticker there. We'll write over it. We'll ignore it. Whatever.
Yeah.
However.
Oh, no.
Gold. All the way down. Whole page of gold paper.
Oh, that's a nightmare for you.
It is. Now, I'm going to end up using it because it'll write on the back of the pages, but it's notebook paper. I can't use it as insert paper.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of hideous.
Yeah. All right. So we got a couple sales going on this month. They're into the monthly.
Excuse me. Yeah.
It's really interesting, the amount of days on sale from King.
Seriously, that's what, the 9th through the 14th, and what, the
15th through the 28th, 25th through the 28th.
Yeah, that's a lot of sale days.
It is. Now, I've decided to do something. I don't know if I talked to you about this or not.
Okay.
We are going to raise the percentage off on the baristas.
You had mentioned.
Okay. Then I'm going to be doing sales on my private readings, but you're going to have to be on the mailing list to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get a code that allows you to do it on my private readings, and I'm going to match Keen's sale thing because that way it balances out a little bit. I think my privates will like it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah. So go ahead and sign up for the newsletter. You'll get your code that'll correspond to the Keen sales.
Right.
And you can come take your percentage with his private readings.
Right.
In addition to, if you want to get him on demand, he'll also be on sale there.
Right. And then, you'll get a bigger discount and you can use it more than once. And you don't have to wait for the sale.
Right.
If you join baristas.
Yes. For even $1 a month.
Yeah. All right. All right. So this is the basic work calendar. It's looking decent. Not a lot of overload. I need some pretty to it, though.
Yes.
And we're going purples.
Ooh, purples.
Yeah. Well, this book is a lot of purple and black and gold and copper.
Yeah, Brenda even points out that barista benefits are worth it.
She's been a founding member of the baristas.
Yes.
Yes. And so the baristas are getting an increase in benefit. She's amazing. She supports us so well, including in cheesecake.
Yes.
Yes, you were bragging on that earlier this week.
I was.
Yeah.
I mean, it may have something to do with you bought a cheesecake mix.
Yep.
And you dangled it in front of me. And it's still in a box.
Yep, it is. But what else did you say this week?
I didn't say anything. I was like, ooh, cheesecake.
Well, no, you gave me shit.
What?
About holiday cooking?
Oh, yes. No, the cheesecake didn't count. You didn't have to wait for today. Cheesecake could have been in the fridge all week long.
Uh-huh.
Or however many days it survived. Or hours. I know, but I try not to overtax him. He's allowed to get away with cheesecake in a box. Whichever box form that is. Like cheesecake from Sam's. I'll let him get away with a lot of things. I will count them. But yes, he does have the recipe. We have not had time to do anything.
Yeah. But no, someone was giving me shit because, as everyone knows, in the U.S., it is Easter in the U.S.
It is.
It is.
And he has a bad habit of starting out with a holiday menu.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 4 or 5 items.
Mm-hmm.
And turning that into like 15 or 30.
Mm-hmm.
In quantities that could, be confused with feeding a military division. Like at least a small faction of a military.
Well, I could actually probably feed the military easier than I can feed you. But anyhow.
Hey. Stop making it sound like I eat too much.
You don't. That's the problem.
But no. So I was giving him grief because typically this starts out as a few item menu, and then all of a sudden we are fighting to get anything in and out of the fridge whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, please don't. Like 4 people will be at this table.
Mm-hmm.
That is all will be at this table.
Mm-hmm.
We have invited everyone. No one shows up. It's okay. We're not mad about that. It's just there's going to be 4 people at this table. We do not need food to feed 50.
Right.
Like,
so, yeah, he got what for Easter?
Nothing.
Food-wise, what'd you get cooked?
Oh, we did the half a pork loin. Thank God. Or we would be eating pork the rest of this year. Because Jesus, that was a whole babe.
Yeah.
Like that was a whole like pig. Like I'm afraid to meet the pig that had this big of a loin. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's where I'm at with this pork loin. Like that was a meat, but that was a meat baseball bat. Okay,
right.
That was like you could have played t-ball.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. Just like save it for an intruder. You could clobber them to death.
It was a baseball bat worth a pork loin.
Yes, it was enormous. So he had to cut it in half, and the crock pot oval was still full. It's not a round crock pot; it's an oval.
Yes, and both of them, and the other one's in there cooking.
Yeah, and he's already cooking up the other one. That one's going to get immediately frozen or cut up and frozen, whatever. But yeah, no. Oh, Aeson, they make wire racks for the fridge that allows you to stack more without smooshing items.
I know. I need to go to the box store. But anyhow, so he got pork loin.
I did.
Did you get anything to go with the pork loin?
There were mashed potatoes, microwave style. Of course, we had gravy from the pork loin, because he did it cranberry brisket style. So it was all the things we do for the cranberry brisket done to the pork loin. It makes a phenomenal pork loin.
Right.
Oh, cranberry and pork really goes together. With French onion soup mix. Oh my God, that pork's amazing. So we had that. We had biscuits. We had green beans. And he actually stuck to his original menu.
Yep. And when he complained about no dessert, I said, "You got a pudding in the fridge."
I had a flan. Flan. I didn't know I had a flan. That flan should not have survived this long, but that's where our fridge has been.
Yeah.
Is that like we've run crazy.
No.
Like we have. This last month has been crazy. So I didn't know that I still had a flan in there.
Yep.
I don't think you knew until like sometime this morning that I had a flan in there.
I knew you had flan in there. I just was surprised that it lasted that long, and it's like, and you start giving me shit about no dessert, and I'm like, you got flan in the fridge.
Ooh. So I had flan to go with, which I think is fair. It's an egg-based custard.
Right.
Like, that seems appropriate for Easter.
Yep. We didn't do anything.
Oh, Brenda's like, you'll need to tell us about the cranberry onion soup mixed pork.
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy. Yeah. You get one packet of Lipton. This is not where you save your money at.
No, don't save your money on soup mix. Please don't save your money on soup mix.
Lipton soup mix. You lay a pork loin, pork brisket, pork whatever in the crock pot.
Or a beef brisket. That's what it originally comes from.
I don't really care for it on the beef brisket.
Really?
Really. It needs something. So
I think potatoes is what we keep leaving out.
It needs something.
Well, yeah, because pork has to get starchy.
Right.
Don't ask me what it is. I'm sure there is, like, I'm sure a chef has covered this before. Yeah. There's something about beef that has to go with potatoes for the starch. It does something.
Right.
Don't ask me what it is. You try to leave potatoes out of a beef dish, it gets weird.
Right.
Like, go talk to Alton Brown. I'm sure he has a whole chemical explanation.
Possibly. Like, I don't know. That or it needs wine.
Possibly it needs wine. But anyway, okay, so you've got your pork, you've got your soup mix.
You take 2 cans of cranberry or a mason jar of cranberry sauce. One of the two. One of jelly, one of whole cranberries, and you dump it on top.
Yep.
You put the crock pot on for low for 8 hours or high for 4. Leave it alone. You don't stir it. You don't pick up the lid. You smack the husband with a wooden spoon to keep him away from it. And you just let it cook.
Oh, yeah, because it'll smell you to death. Now, you can also, before you've added the pork loin, you can also do a layer of carrots and potatoes.
You can. I never do because I don't like the sides.
Yeah. I don't know why you don't love the sides.
Okay. You don't pre-fry this pork loin. You do not smother it, southern it, any of that. And you take a quarter thing of butter and you set it on the top in the center and then you close the lid. And you leave it alone. Don't bother it. When the timer goes off, walk in there, turn it off, lift the lid off, and walk away again for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Then you put it on a plate. You've got to rest for 15 before you slice it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so again, that is optional veggies. He says they're optional. I say they're not. Your meat, and then you're literally going to dump over the soup mix packet and your cranberries jellied and whole, your cranberry sauce and your jellied cranberry sauce, and then plop butter in the top middle.
Right.
Lid it, turn it on 4 hours on high or 8 hours on low, and walk away.
Walk away.
Brenda's with Aeson. Yeah, Brenda says, I'm with Aeson, don't like the sides in it. What is wrong with y'all? This is the best part. Like, oh my God, you set carrots in this for like 4 hours. It's amazing. Those are the best carrots. Like, what is wrong?
You don't. Carrots are best served fried in honey, preferably from Bob Evans. And potatoes, you get them and you mash them. Or you bake them with sour cream and butter.
Or you do them under salmon.
Now that's a decent option.
Yeah, you like the potatoes that way.
Now I also like spinach with this dish. Other than green beans, spinach is a very good side. Macaroni and cheese does well. I don't recommend anything tomato-based. It just doesn't go well with cranberry or anything over-spiced. You want the cranberry to be the shower of the show.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's weird how tomatoes have a bad habit of taking center stage.
They do.
Ooh, Brenda found bacon-wrapped carrots brushed with maple syrup.
Ooh, nice.
You know, I have to point out, Bob Evans has managed to make fried chicken even better to me. And it's like, Bob Evans, stop killing people. Okay, I did not need fried chicken to be better. I didn't. I did not need this. But apparently, if you smother it under honey and butter, fried chicken tastes even better.
Right.
That shouldn't be a thing. That shouldn't be a thing. Well, KFC, where the hell have you been?
In Kentucky.
Like,
it should be over in Ohio where Bob Evans is.
I'm just saying, that should have been their other spice.
It is one of their spices. And their barbecue sauce.
I know, but that's not good. I don't like their barbecue sauce.
I like their barbecue sauce, but I like their barbecue sauce hot.
KFC, no. That is the only place I've ever found that I really dislike barbecue sauce. That and Sheets, that's Dr. Pepper barbecue.
See, that needs cooked longer.
No, it needs nothing. It doesn't need to exist even. Like, ooh, that's harsh barbecue sauce. Like, and don't get me wrong, I will eat up some Coke-based barbecue sauce, like the Coca-Cola base. I'm all about that. Dr. Pepper, no. No. That's, you might as well be making NyQuil chicken for me. Like, no.
NyQuil chicken?
I'm just saying, it's what it tastes like. It's like having fried chicken and NyQuil.
Okay, so we got the podcast calendar put together.
Yay.
Yay. And of course, we're covering every day except some Saturdays, and Wednesday, of course, we don't broadcast on because that's Gwen's hour.
It is.
It is.
Don't forget the Gwen, y'all.
Huh?
Don't forget the Gwen.
Of course, not forgetting the Gwen.
Like,
So
guys,
let's get it
don't
pretty.
Hmm?
Let's get it pretty.
Yes, gotta make the calendars pretty.
But no. Yeah. So, yes, I simplified this holiday. And the next one, we've done this a few times, just gone out to eat.
We have.
Someone, we went to Bob Evans and I seen I could pre-order.
Isn't that like the best though?
Now I'm looking at that going, and they have it for 4 people.
Mm-hmm. They do. But every time we've looked at doing that, it's always been like a price problem.
Right. I mean, I'm not spending $200 on the meal for 4.
No. And that's sort of what I'm talking about. Is it's usually like they do it. They do it. But do you want to do it?
Right.
Like it becomes a thing.
It does.
Like it's a serious consideration. Like you can do that.
Well, and what we really need to do is get on this chain because we have the country corner down here. They do pre-orders and they do all the cooking and all the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we may just do that.
We could.
And we know their cooking's good.
Oh yeah, we do love our country corner.
Yeah,
it's a little local store / restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very awesome.
Yes.
Like I don't think we can say enough nice things about them.
And they have chicken livers. That's all that matters is they have chicken livers.
Oh yeah, they have all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anyone if you're planning to visit, like you gotta check out the country corner.
All right. And go in there and say hi to Butch. He's the oldest grocery man I can remember that's still in the grocery business. I think he just turned 81.
Oh goodness. But yeah, he's awesome. The restaurant, the food's awesome. Mm-hmm. They've recently done a whole lot of stuff to the store.
Right.
They have all kinds of. They just have like the oddest little collection of stuff.
Right.
Like it's a little general store with a restaurant. They do homemade salads.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like chicken salad and macaroni salad and potato salad and pimento cheese. Their pimento cheese is really good. But they just have all the stuffs.
Yep.
Like it's very small town country grocery like store, general store.
Right.
So yeah, love them for that.
And the biggest heads of cabbage.
Good God. Oh yeah, and the fresh veggies. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like granted, they come from his garden.
That one. Yeah. Yeah. Forgot about that part. Like that's also that's worth its weight.
Right.
Because those are some of the best vegetables. And I know you love him because they always have the tomatoes you like.
They do, and they're not the bad tomatoes.
They're not the bad tomatoes.
They don't taste like they're plastic. They don't taste like air.
Oh, yeah.
You can taste the soil.
Yeah, they're really good tomatoes. Because I know you've used them in a few different things.
Right.
And yeah, they've been awesome. So
Yeah.
Just saying, if y'all are going to be in Summersville, or Fayetteville, well, Fayetteville's a more appropriate one.
Right.
This summer.
Right.
That's a place to check out.
It is, but you've got to be there by 2. Like lunch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if you're coming on Friday and you have an interest in chicken livers, you better show up at 11 sharp and join the line.
Absolutely. Like that stuff sells out quick.
Right.
Like they don't make a ton of quantity. It is how they cut their costs. Like they make enough to sell.
Right. All right, guys, let's take a break before we dive into looking at Joe, and then we're going to do the weekly overview, and then we'll set my week up. So we'll be right back.
Great.
Are you ready for an enchanting journey of self-discovery and empowerment? Dive into the mystical world of Wicca with our courses guided by Lord Aeson Knight. Unveil Wicca's secrets, explore fundamental principles, and delve into essential topics like deity relationships and the purpose of rituals. Aeson Knight, a third-degree high priest, shares his wisdom through life coaching lessons, guiding you towards a brighter future. Step into the inner circle of enlightenment. Enroll today to embark on a journey toward a more empowered you. Click the link to take your first step into the magical circle.
Ready to join the Psychic Coffee Shop Network? By becoming our patron, you'll unlock exclusive content from Aeson Knight, host of the Psychic Coffee Shop podcast and co-host of the Mountain Bears podcast, alongside the tech-savvy Techie Joe. Choose from subscription options ranging from Tall $1, Grande $5, to Venti $10 per month, supporting us in covering production costs and beyond. Depending on your subscription level, enjoy discounts on private readings, free access to classes and special events, behind-the-scenes extras, and the chance to participate in station meetings. Plus, you'll get early access to new content and the opportunity to shape future topics. We'll acknowledge your support in the credits of our videos. Don't wait. Brew some magic and join us today as a valued member. Link in the show description. Aeson Knight, your gateway to a transformed life. In a world where anyone can claim to be a life coach, Aeson stands out as a true professional with the skills and qualifications to guide you on your journey to success. So why invest in a personal life coach? Let's explore the game-changing benefits Aeson brings to the table. Ever find it hard to stay committed to change on your own? Aeson's expertise ensures you stay on track. With him as your coach, that internal drive kicks in, motivating you to keep your promises and achieve your goals. Making a change is tough, but Aeson makes it 1,000 times easier. He's your unwavering support, guiding you through challenges, pushing you beyond your limits, and believing in you even when you doubt yourself. Friends are great, but they may not always want to see you succeed. Aeson, on the other hand, is dedicated solely to your success. He removes negativity and limiting beliefs, giving you the tailored support you need. Forget endless hours deciphering advice from books and videos. Aeson is your shortcut to effective change. He saves you time and money by offering personalized attention, guiding you toward the tools and lessons that will truly work for you. Ready for a better tomorrow? Book your discovery call with Aeson Knight now. Take the first step toward the life you've always dreamed of. Aeson Knight, your partner in transformation. Start your journey today.
All right, so I wanted to cover this one section of my planner before I get into my weekly, and that is another section in general. Mm-hmm. I've been racking my brain about how to figure out what I'm growing in. Meaning, yes, I get a deposit. Yes, I need to track the deposit, but some deposits don't come till Friday. Some deposits are once a month, and I need to be aiming for them. So that's this budgeting section. And then I sat down and done the budget for this month and listed everything out. And you guys are going to see me write some numbers on my weekly. That's where it comes from, the budget. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know, how many days a month, where we're at. And these are going to change because I had it at 28 days. It's going to be technically 27 days. So
Okay.
I've got to go back and refigure that. But anyway, I'm going to let Joe show you his planner this month and his layouts.
All right. Let me get back over there. I was hoping I could get that done. Oh, so I think from the beginning you can tell I've bought 2 sticker packs. I spent $12, okay? It was like $11 and something. Yeah. So the sticker designer that I've used for the last 2 months, we were talking about this a little bit last time. I fell in love. I've fallen in love. I just love her stickers. All of her sets are amazing. I'm dearly loving her. But anyway, there were 2 that struck me. One is called Coffee, and one is called Work. So the coffee sticker collection, like she has this lock on lock. Okay,
Right.
She has everything.
Mm-hmm.
And all of it's pretty. Some of it I don't get to use because I think it's built more for like bullet journaling.
Okay.
But yeah, the designer of the store on Etsy is Plannered. Like it's
Yeah.
like there's just so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And again, all of it's flipping gorgeous.
Right.
So anyway, I got this one. This is her coffee stickers, and then I picked up the work set. And again, you can kind of see there's a like a design like repetition. But it's all really, really nice. So yeah, I went ahead and picked that up. I'm flipping loving it. I've loved everything she's done. I didn't like her April, and that had more to do with the color palette.
Okay. What was it?
Greens and purples.
Understandable why you don't like her April.
Like I love my clients. Don't get me wrong. I love my clients. I love y'all dearly. But I have a hatred at this point for green and purple as a color palette. Right. I've done everything with green and purple a human being can do.
Right.
Like I that color palette exhausts me. And so yeah, I didn't have the heart to do it. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Her April is beautiful. It's green and purple. And I was out. Right. But then I was looking through, I didn't like anyone else's April stuff. So I went back and I was looking through her stuff again and realized that, like, you know, in addition to the monthly packs that she has, she also has some just standard color kits. That, like, there's a work kit and there's a coffee kit and there's this other kit. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to grab 2 this month and then use them in conjunction.
Right.
So anyway, Plannered on Etsy, you rock. If y'all are wondering where my stickers are coming from, that's where they're coming from. So yeah. So we're rocking out this month. We've got a few different things going on. It is now my Mondays look like my Mondays always look. Like, don't freak out. Because that's my standard 2:15 on Mondays. Now Tuesdays and Wednesdays this month, there's 4 more doctor's appointments to deal with. Right. And let's see. So yeah, those are all pretty straightforward.
Right.
Yeah. And like you're one of them. I still need to get the time and info for that one.
2:30 on the 11th.
2:30. Okay. Oh, on the 11th? I thought it was the 10th.
Nope, the 11th.
Oh. Okay. So we'll move that over. And I'm here. All right, and then I'll fill the rest of that in later.
All right.
So yeah. So we've got that. And otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward month.
Yeah. Looks to
Like,
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think May gets a little wonkier.
Right.
But I think this month I'm pretty well at my desk.
Yay.
Far more than most months.
Yeah.
Because all those Mondays, that's an hour out of my day. Like that, your mom's dentist appointment, that's gonna probably be like 2-3 hours.
Right.
But that's local. It's worst case scenario, your mother could walk to it. I'm not that mean.
We're not doing that.
No, but you get my point.
Right.
Like she could.
Right.
She could. It's really close to her. It's just no, we're not doing that.
Right.
We'll pick her up and take her. But yeah, then I have one Charleston appointment, one Princeton run, which is you. And then yeah, I've got a I've got a Beckley run for myself.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, in terms of months and appointments, that's pretty
good.
Like that's everything I could hope for and more for April.
Right.
Which is really awesome because I definitely need as many free Wednesdays as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I'm going to be seeing one of my clients who's a bit remote. Like that's a drive.
It is, but it's a pretty drive, and it's actually one I go on to get out.
Yeah, you love that drive. As long as you don't have a rental car that you don't understand, that it doesn't understand the road, and you're not fully comprehending what it's trying to do while not understanding the road.
Right.
Oh, that was a fun experience, I got to tell you. There was a moment there I was like, he can't drive no more. Only to realize that no, he was freaking out because the car was freaking out.
Right.
Because more modern vehicle, it has all these assistive features, and the assistive features have no plan for unlined roads.
Exactly.
That have rapid turns.
Right.
Very sharp, twisty roads.
And I'm sure that car thought it had gone to hell.
Yeah, it was like, I'm lost. Danger, danger, danger.
Right.
So he was trying to accelerate. It's trying to brake.
Right.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. I found the stop assistant driving button really soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had to get out of the assistive driving real quick for that road.
Right.
But anyway, it's one way in. There's a whole other way in. I just don't always love that way in.
I like the way in we went out last time.
The time before last? Because last time we went in and out the same way.
No, we did not.
Okay.
We couldn't have because we had to go to Beckley.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. We had to change up, and we did go out.
Right.
A totally different way. Had never pulled that stunt before.
It was gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it was a great drive.
Yep.
And it is the fun of having remote West Virginia clients, I gotta say, is once you get over the hump of like, this is gonna take forever.
Right.
And it does. No offense, love the client. They're great. They're wonderful, wonderful client.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a pretty drive, but you do have to get over this hump of like, they are remote.
Mm-hmm.
They are a rural, kind of backwoods West Virginia client.
Mm-hmm.
And that's no insult on them. It's just this isn't a trip to Beckley.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not driving into a place with an Applebee's. There is no Applebee's. Like, you just have to get over some things real quick. There's no Starbucks.
No, but there is a lovely shop there. We've had coffee from there before.
We have there are some really nice mom and pop places up there.
Yeah, and I'm
Like,
really getting into mom and pops.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to fully explore, but
Mhm.
because we always end up in a rush somehow,
Right.
especially on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate because thankfully the client has hooked us up with a couple of places.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Brenda says you wouldn't be the favorite anymore if you make Mama Night walk.
She
I
ain't.
would not. I would
No.
not.
No.
But she's done it. That's the thing, because her dentist is right near her bank.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say I know she can walk is because she has walked to that bank.
Yeah. Because she has gotten fed up with us and like, I ain't waiting on you.
Oh no, it wasn't even that. Like, she didn't even tell us.
Yeah.
She didn't even tell us. She got fed up with the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was trying to call to get an answer to a question and they wouldn't something. And anyway, she went in and she walked in.
Yeah.
And it's not a short walk. Like, it was a whole day expenditure for her time wise. And that's what I'm saying. We won't make her do that.
Yeah.
But I know that she can.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hike.
It can be, but that's okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so the joys of like having remote rural area clients in West Virginia is you do have to kind of like zen out on it, and just like you plan your time, you accept that you're not going to have cellular signal for parts of this trip, if any of it. You know what I mean? Like, you just you enjoy the experience, you love the experience, you embrace it, and just understand that when you fall into these areas, it's okay if like something goes wrong. This is a whole community.
Right.
They are used to this. They understand there is no cellular service. So if you break down, you really have to knock on someone's door and go, "Hi, I need you. Could you please make a phone call for me?"
Right.
Like, you don't have to bring me a phone or let me into your house. It is 2024. I do not expect anyone to do that for me. But if you could just call this number and let them know the following information.
Right.
Send help. I'm on the side of the road. So yeah, not that it's happened. It's been really nice. It's just a really pretty drive.
Yeah.
But anyway, that kind of gets off into the weeds. But again, I call it the joys of IT in West Virginia. Is It mixes a lot of things together. Yeah. So anyway, so that's my month. I'm gonna have some meeting, at least one pop in for Wednesday. I've got to set that up with the client. And then I've got to use some of my time, which may also be Wednesdays, and perhaps Tuesdays, because I've got to get caught up on a project that I was supposed to start in February.
Right.
Which is I've got to go take a bunch of skills trainings.
Right.
So that I can help a client take back their life. It's what it feels like. But take back their museum from the hands of a really annoying service provider.
Right.
So I've got to do that. Because y'all, professionally, I need to nerd out for a moment. This is the coolest system I've ever seen. I think it was a bit of an oversell for the client.
Well, I think it's a great system. I like the idea of that one. It's like I like the other idea of the other company you talked about. And it's like, no, you need to go learn that one too.
Yeah. Well, this one specifically it's a whole immersive, interactive experience. It is an interconnected, multiple room, light, audio, video system. Like it is enormous. And it's very technical.
Right.
It's all software controlled.
Right.
Like it has a little baby server, but it is all software. Like you think sound system, you think the great big giant panel with all the dials and knobs and sliders. It isn't even that in software.
Right.
It is like, it's one of those, you bring it up and you're like, I vaguely understand what you did here. Yay for database classes. Because this is built on schemas for audio, video, lighting. All of the lights are independently controlled and have different statuses, and it tendrils.
Right.
Like if you wanted a whole home automation, this thing could do it, and it would be, oh my god, amazing.
Right.
With the level of granularity and all that. But in terms of, like, let's just be blunt, a bunch of seniors. Ooh, Nelly.
Right.
Ooh, Nelly. They are struggling.
Right. But they'll get over that. All right. So what's your week looking like?
All right. So we've got the first week. I've actually got my weeks. I've got everything dumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to use more of the weekly pages. I'm starting to like that.
Right.
Like I haven't gotten all the way invested, but I'm getting there. Like I just had to do a lot of cleanup the first couple of months of this year.
Right.
So I'm starting to get a little more into my weekly pages. I'm finding them more useful. So yeah, I'm going through, I'm filling them out. I'm not beautifying them a whole lot.
Right.
I have noticed that. One, I don't feel like there's a lot of place to beautify without interfering, so I kind of reserve it for like the holidays. So I've kind of just skipped some of the beautification on the weekly pages.
Right.
Because I think I need them more functional.
Okay.
So you know, it'll work out.
Right.
But yeah, so already got my events and stuff in. I replicated a couple and just went, I guess that's what we'll do. So there's stuff that may move around that isn't 100% yet.
Right.
All right. And so then that gets us through the end of April and into the beginning of May. And we start the first days. So yeah, this is a combo of the 2 sticker packs, the work week, and the coffee. I think they work amazingly together.
They do.
Like it's a very similar color palette, which I kind of like about her stuff is like she tends to use colors across.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's different colors, but then she tends to like reuse some.
Right.
So you get some uniformity to it that you can mix and match without it being like, that's weird.
Right.
But look, your mocha pot.
I know. I love my mocha pot.
I know you do.
Yes.
I'm loving it here on this page.
I know. It looks very cool. I love the coffee cup. That's cute.
I like both coffee cups. Yeah. All 3, technically. There's 3 on this page. There's 3 cups of coffee.
No, 4.
See. Pardon?
There's 4.
Well, actually, there's the 2 stacked there. So there's 5 coffee cups on this page.
Right.
There are. So we got the coffee before talkie. We have the coffee outline. We have the 2 stacked cups. And then we have latte art in another coffee cup.
How cute.
That's sitting on a saucer. and even has a little shadow.
That's good work.
I know, right? Like, I love her stuff. Like, I'm just so addicted. Because it hits the right place.
Right.
So it makes me happy. It brings me joy. And it's $5
to do.
Yeah, and like the kits are like $5 and something a piece.
Right.
Like, you can't
So are you doing any goal setting with this, or are you just functionality?
Right now I'm still functional.
Okay.
Trying to move to goal setting.
Okay.
Right now I'm still kind of like, I've dug out. But in the dig out, some things took a little longer than they should have, so I've found myself a little behind.
Okay.
Not desperately behind yet, but
right.
at a point in which it's like, we don't need goals, we need work.
Right.
Just get her done. That level of goal. That's it.
Right. And you're repeating this pattern on all your pages?
I am.
Okay. Very cool.
Getting my week set up. And then I'm not sure if I want to run like this one setup for the month.
Right.
Because I seem to be finding like I'm really liking certain designs that I do, and then I just kind of want to run them.
Right. And that's understandable, but at the same time you can sometimes get bored.
Yeah. Which, I mean, granted, I got tons of stickers. I can totally change things up. But I'm playing with the idea that I may repeat or just add to, like, slightly modify.
Right.
For next week. So I'll play with that idea, see what I think, see how this one runs. Which I think this is going to be great.
Right.
Because this is hitting me with a right balance.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Very cool. Very nice. Very nice.
Love it. I still have some fill out to do. I've almost forgot our shows.
Oh goodness. You can't be doing that.
I had everything in and I was like, I know I'm missing something, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And then I realized what it was.
Yep, it's our shows.
Yeah, it's the shows. I forgot the shows. Alrighty.
So with that,
yes, we'll swap back cameras.
Let's go ahead and get our 3 card on.
And
then we'll start laying out my week.
Yay!
Why does it move where I'm... There we go.
There you are.
Does it want to actually see me shuffle?
Ooh. Get our card ASMR.
Oof. Okay. So we're ending a cycle. With that ending of a cycle, it leaves us with a lot of boundaries put around us. Thing to remember there is we've put in our own boundaries. So we may need to take up those swords to get ourselves ready to be the Page of Cups and to take off and do something new.
That's an interesting...
It is.
Combo of cards there.
Well, because we have the World, the Eight of Swords, and then the Page of Swords.
I thought you said the Page of Cups.
Page of Swords, honey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not paying attention to gossip. We're taking on new things.
Okay.
All right. So with that, let's start laying out my week. First part of that, however, is we need to adjust the numbers because we adjusted my time from a 28-day month. So I'm out of office for 1 day. I'm going to give myself a cush day, so that takes me down to 26 work days this month. All right. So grab your calculator.
Oh, 1 second. Oh, also Brenda says, so time to review boundaries?
Yep. You may have took on too much.
All right, we are calculated.
All right. So we're going to calculate $4,933.40 divided by 26.
Is $189.75.
$189.25. Okay, so that's our green goal.
75 cents.
75 cents. All right. So our green goal is 189.75. That's the minimum we can make in a day to stay on task.
Okay.
All right. So we go through and we add in to get the gold goal, which is the goal to pay off all the debt. And that is clear the calculator.
Okay.
$10,764.89.
10,764.89.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to divide that by 26.
Is $414.04.
$414.04.
So 41404.
Okay. So there's a lot of change with that one.
Oh, excuse me.
All right. So our platinum goal, aka gold goal, between the two systems.
Mm-hmm.
Clear the calculator. $15,764.98.
So 15,764.98.
Yep.
Divide by 26.
Divide by 26.
606.35.
606.35. Yes, these are high goals. Okay. This one would pay off all our debt, our liquid debt.
Mm-hmm.
It would pay off all our bills and put us a month ahead.
Yep.
But that's clearing $606.35 every day of those 26 days.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very intense series of days.
Yes.
Like that is. Oh, let's figure that out real quick. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So 606.35.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And then let me multiply by well, technically it's just divide by 10. So that's $60.64 an hour.
I don't know about that. You have to back that backwards.
What do you mean you have to back that backwards?
All right, 606.35.
Okay.
Divided by 3.03.
What is 3.03?
$3.03 is what I get paid per minute.
Okay. So that's 200.12 something.
Okay. Then you divide that by 60.
3.34.
And then you times that by 0.75.
2.50.
So 2.50. No, I'm sorry. Back that backwards. I'm sorry.
So divide by 0.75.
Right, because I talk about 15 minutes per hour.
I just don't know what we're calculating at this point. Because it's 4.44 or 4.45 would be that number.
Okay. We need to back it out.
Okay.
All right. So $606.35.
Right.
Divided by what I make per minute, which is $3.03 per minute.
Okay.
Okay. And then we take and we divide how many minutes that is.
So
By the
60
hour.
minutes in an hour.
Right.
Is 3.34. So it's an impossible number.
It's talking straight for 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Per hour.
No. That's
because you just had me divide it by 60.
Yes, which would be the continual talk time,
Okay.
which is 3 hours and 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So you take that and you divide it. You take that and you multiply it by 0.3. No. If I'm talking 25% of an hour normally, so you times it by
0.25 because 1 and 4.
Right.
Or divide it by 0.25.
Multiply it.
If I multiply it by 0.25, the number gets smaller. If I divide it by 0.25, the number gets bigger.
Okay, that's what you want to do.
So 13 hours, 34 minutes per day is what you need to work to even conceive of $6 or $600 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it impossible? No.
It's not impossible.
Right.
Sorry, that's why I was having problems because the numbers, the way we were running them before is like, wait a second, that isn't.
Right. But no, you take
I don't know what we did.
Dollar amount and find your talk time and then do your average.
Mm-hmm. Which we did. I think we got there. So yeah, it would be 13 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
To technically, and that means everything runs perfectly.
Right.
That's probably the key point to point out to people is, and that's if it runs perfectly.
Right.
Yeah, if you get the calls to do it. That's sort of what I was saying was if it runs perfectly.
Right.
Like, I mean, is there a potential he could make more than that per day? Yes. But we're going on statistical averages, which the average psychic on network talks for 1 out of every 4 minutes they're on network.
Right.
So about 15 minutes per hour.
Right.
Is actual talk time versus setting on network time.
Right.
Now, we have seen like one client drop $300.
Right. And I've had an hour reading straight through. So what do you do with that extra time? You don't. You just let it be cover up your dead time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
we're going to average it all out.
Right. So I was looking back at the records.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a pattern.
Oh, you saw a pattern?
Yes. If we look at the records over the past 4 years, we go through what I was like, I can't believe this is going on. What the hell? This isn't supposed to be going on. Every year.
Yeah. In March?
at the end of March is a switch that flips somewhere in the system, and it runs till October.
Mm-hmm.
And it flips again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's there, like, or it's just people.
I don't know.
Like here's the thing is I know you like to see the pattern and necessarily think that it's and all you guys do this, all the psychics do this. You start thinking it's just the network. Like there's a system, like weird breaker thing, or the system's broken or whatever. Y'all blame the networks. When the reality is it could just be the shift in people, because that
Right.
also almost perfectly times up.
Right.
With like, because again, you're talking about March and October, that's time change.
Right.
Like, so whether it's a system issue or it's a people issue,
right,
time change occurs.
Right.
Like there's your causal events.
Right.
Is every time change,
mm-hmm.
there's a shift.
Right.
So anyway, continue.
So my schedule is going to be different. We're going to run this. We're going to see if it works. If it works, wonderful. If not, we'll switch it next week. We'll rotate until we find our sweet spot again. And that's the balance you get in when you're running a on-network business. Is you've got to find your sweet spots. Mm-hmm. First, let's look at what else is going on in my world to affect my sweet spots. What do you got?
Oh, just 1 second. I'm setting up my little chart. So I'll be ready to go and take those dates or those times. All right, so this week I have my normal Monday 2:15.
Okay.
Tuesday at 4, I have to take your mom to the dentist.
Okay.
And then Friday at 11, I have my normal massage. Question mark on Wednesday, we may be doing a trip to Quinwood.
Okay. What about invisible?
All right, so it's full week. So Monday 3 to 9.
Okay.
Tuesday 4 to 10.
Okay.
Wednesday 3 to 8.
Okay.
Skip Thursday.
Okay.
Friday 3 to 10. And that's where, of course, his schedule ends because they plan like sociopaths.
Yes. All right. So this is looking good. This is looking good.
Yep.
So here we go. Well, I need an extra line. All right. First out of the gate, let's do the privates.
Okay.
Monday, I'm closed. Tuesday, we can do 3 to 7.
Okay.
Wednesday, I'm closed. Thursday, it's another 3 to 7.
Okay.
Friday, 3 to 7. Saturday, 2 to 7. And Sunday, 4 to 7.
Okay.
All right.
That was quick and easy.
That is, I like their pattern. They seem to be getting used to their pattern. They're happy.
Okay.
Happy little trees. We love happy little trees.
Do you know they make happy little tree mints?
I saw that. All right. So I need you to do some math for me.
Oh, Lord.
We're going to count time.
Okay.
8. If I'm waking up at 8 a.m. and I sleep 7 hours, what time do I need to go to bed?
1 a.m.
All right. Wonderful.
All right. This is easy math.
This is easy math.
8 minus 7 is...
All right. Now get your calculator because we're going to be timing this out because we're going to have to hit happy space.
Okay.
Which is 62 to 70.
All right. So you're looking for somewhere between 8 and 10 hours a day.
Basically. All right. So we're going to start at 9 a.m. We're going to go to 2 p.m.
All right. So 3, 4, 5 hours.
Okay. And then in the evening, we're going to start at 11 and run to 1 a.m.
2 hours.
No, 2 a.m. Sorry.
So 11, 3 hours.
Right.
So plus 3. It's 8 hours.
Okay. We're going to repeat that pattern for Tuesday.
All right. So we're going to be plus 8 is 16 hours for the week.
Okay. Wednesday still works.
Okay. So plus 8. You're at 24 hours for the week.
Okay. All right. Thursday still works.
$32 hours for the week.
Friday still works.
Okay, you hit 40 hours. Oh my God, it's like you have a W-2 job.
Until
Now go home for the weekend and do nothing.
Yeah, that would be cute. That would be real cute.
All right, so right now, before you start putting in times, let me let you know that you are about 20-some hours off your goal. And you're only currently set to add 16 hours.
I know.
Okay. And that's like bare minimum of your goal.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to do 9 to 2.
Okay. So 5 hours.
And 11. Actually, we can go to 8 to 3.
Okay. So 4 hours plus 3 hours, 7 hours, 7 hours plus 5 hours is 12 hours.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try this. If I don't get any traction on Sunday, we're going to talk. I'm going to do a 10 to 3.
All right. So 5 hours.
All right. And how many do I need?
to hit your minimum, you need another 5 hours.
Okay. So
and you can't start at 8 p.m.
No. The earliest I can start is 10 p.m.
Okay.
And I'm
so
going
you have to go to 3.
Yep, to 3. And that takes me right into Firehouse.
Yep, and that's dead on 62.
Yep. Now, add in my private hours.
Okay. All right, so 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 20. So 82 hours.
Okay. Which is great planning, because if I don't have clients, I'm going to log in.
Okay.
Okay. Or keep logged in.
Okay. So potentially you max out the network if no one books his privates. Good deal.
And if I max out the network, then the Sunday night shift, the Sunday day shift is gone.
Okay. Fair enough.
You know, because I got to cut 12 hours there.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to try this for a week. We're going to try the double shift. We're going to see how I do. We're going to see how the clients do.
Okay, now leave that up a second because I need to get it down. Nine a.m. to 2 p.m. and 11 to 2. And then we repeat until the weekend. And then it's 9 to 2. And 8 to 3. And then it's 10 to 3. And 10 to 3.
Right.
All right. Cool deal.
Right.
Cool. I can fill it out later. I just want to make sure I got all the numbers right. Because I have to go put this all the places.
Yes.
Including Den, so we can all see that and know when does the Aeson.
Right. This is going to be a lot of compact time. We're going to see how the response is.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And then Saturday is our reset day. I think I want flowers.
Yes, Aeson Knight on the Psychic That Plans, proving I can buy myself flowers. And he has.
Yes. Especially since you don't, one, it's hard to find the flowers I like.
Yeah, I tend not to do flowers.
Yeah, well, you can't, like, go to the grocery store and get black Virginia roses.
Yeah. That's a little tough.
Yeah, that's a little complicated.
You know? Brenda says, glad you're feeling better if you're trying that. Also, she asks a question that's probably a great one. Well, actually, 2 questions. First one is, we were talking about the shift in March and October. She asked, that would match up the time change in some overseas areas, wouldn't it?
It does. It matches the time change, which makes me question if it's connected to the time change. But I'm getting unrealistic data.
Yeah.
Okay. What I mean by that is I do a lot of tracking. Probably a lot more tracking than what the average advisor does. Like, I can look at 20 years time span. And know where all my call volume is.
Okay.
And have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so her next question is, do you think more people will call with the eclipse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already prepping, we're already planning, we're already talking.
Mm-hmm. Like, there are some astrological events that just bring the calls.
There is. And then there's some that are like, don't bring the calls, but it's everything else.
Yeah. But no, Mercury in retrograde, his call volume goes up.
Mm-hmm.
And eclipses, your call volume goes up.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things that get made big to do in like astrology press that do nothing. Like they just like it's cute they think that is all I can say. Like but it doesn't like they get made into these really big super important like the red blood moon thing whatever.
Whatever. Well,
I don't mean it does nothing, but I mean in terms of like there's no spike in calls.
Well, there's no spike in calls. There's no spike in energy. And there's some things that get blown out of the goddamn sky. What I mean by that is it's tabloid level astrology.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's clickbaity articles that make something bigger than it is.
Right.
And it's like, does it make a shift? Yeah. Like, is it going to nudge things? Yeah. Is it going to totally drastically, horrifically affect your world? Probably.
Venus goes retrograde. It will affect some people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was talking about, like, there was one a while back that you just rolled your eyes like, this is the dumbest shit I've seen. Because, like, it got built up as, like, it's going to be the end of the world.
You're getting to tomorrow's topic on modern spiritual.
Okay. Alrighty. Sorry. I'm just saying it's happened that you've had those.
Yes.
Like you bring them up and you're like, guys, this is bullshit.
Okay. Stop storing Tide Pods.
Yeah, you know, like it's not it's not that big a deal. Like this is clickbait from hell.
Yeah. You know. But no, Brenda, you're right in a few ways. I wouldn't be making moves like this unless I felt better. And that's, or, you know, it was a major inconvenience. And it's not a major inconvenience. It's just, no, this is the crap we got to get done. And
Brenda says, was it the Doomsday Eclipse?
Shh. We're going to be talking about the Doomsday Eclipse.
Ooh!
Yeah. We're going to be talking about all these doomsday eclipses and these full moon from hells and these, you know, all this caca that comes along.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? This is what you're thinking.
Well, I mean, without getting into your topic for tomorrow,
right,
which is not my goal, but there are some that just do, like, they come out of nowhere, and it's like, you're looking at it going, what the fuck is this shit?
Well, it's like
this isn't standard astrology. This isn't stuff we tell people about because, yeah, okay, it's gonna be a little wonky, but it's not like the end of the world. And then you see the article go out and it's like, this is going to be the end of the world. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, who is trying to drive network calls?
Well, not only that, but then there's this bullshit. And it's been a running bullshit topic. Like, if you guys have watched me talk with astrologers, like every one of them, oops, I ripped it. Oh, goodness. I asked them to talk about the same topic. And there's a reason for this. And it's because when it came out, guys, I'm telling you, I literally sent out an email going, no, the astrology has not moved. It hasn't moved in 2,000 years.
Oh, the 13th astrological sign?
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh. Brenda says the eye roll messages he gets from me with links.
Yes.
I know, right? But no, the 13th astrological sign, because the reason your astrology doesn't make sense is because you're probably the wrong sign.
No, the reason
Like,
you're.
you've all seen that article, haven't you? Or some
Yes.
variant of it.
Yes.
Like, just to clarify, you've seen it. We've all seen it. And it's great clickbait. Sorry, guys, I got to clean my glasses. But it's great clickbait.
Right.
But no, this is one of those weirdo moments that it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, who invented this shit?
Right.
Who decided we needed a 13th astrological sign to sell more shit?
Well,
And you know what? They haven't even backed their play on that, because you're not going to find anything for the 13th astrological sign.
right.
Like, side note, if you're looking to build a business that supplies metaphysical stuff, maybe incorporate that 13th astrological sign and watch yourself get slapped in the face for it.
Right.
Because most people are going to slap you in the face because you just fucked up all their astrological shit.
Right.
Because it now has all the wrong dates and it's a mess.
Right.
So, yeah, see how that goes for you.
And or if your eclipse, you've got this ability or that ability, and it's like,
take several seats.
Take a deep breath. Y'all go take several seats, preferably in the back, and let's go over this.
And the cusp.
Yeah.
All the cusps.
Yeah.
All you cusp people, don't you know that you have to take the two astrological signs, you have to shove them in a blender and pulse.
Right.
And make a margarita reading for yourself.
Well,
or just pour a margarita. Like, I think that would be easier. Like, just fuck astrology, try alcoholism.
That's mediumship, honey. That's mediumship. I keep trying to explain to you. That's mediumship.
Okay.
I'm sorry. If you're a medium out there, you need to go back and read your history. Most mediums were alcoholics. You have to get drunk to put up with those dead people. They're annoying.
Oh God, how much is it going to start sucking when all the mediums are going to have to start reading boomers? Ew.
Honey, we're already reading boomers.
I'm just saying there's going to be a resurgence.
Yeah, well,
like, you get those millennial readers trying to get in touch with Grandma the Boomer.
What I'm worried about is trans mediums.
Ooh.
Who get stuck into it. All right.
Oh, that's going to suck.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Trans mediums. Ooh. I feel bad for you.
I feel bad for trans mediums because they take on so much and they've got to keep their system at a certain level or they're in trouble.
That's a lot to ask.
Right. Like, we make comments about how my diet's important. Mm-hmm. And as a psychic, you have to eat and drink so much and keep your vibration at a certain level and, collectively, manage your shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like your polarity and all this other stuff. Which I know I just spit a lot of gibberish at most of you, but let's say most psychics have weird issues.
Oh, yeah. Like, and that's actually, like the mediums, the psychics, the clairvoyant, like any of the clairers.
Mm-hmm.
Like the physical ramifications.
Right.
Like, there's a trade-off.
Yep.
They don't really talk about that. Like, you know, oh, you're gifted and you have this wonderful magical gift.
Mm-hmm.
No one points out that, and the price you pay is.
Right.
It's going to rip your body in half.
Well, and it does that as you elevate.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to get medical attention and go, my body's changing. And then not to go, you know, and these are the following changes that occur, you know. And I don't know, they call them downloads, they call them, you know, Brenda help me with some of this new age jargon, downloads or upgrades, or it's just processes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's stages.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, that's been the interesting part is the cross sectioning.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost, I hate to say it this way, but it is almost like you don't even have to ask them to do a reading. It's like, just tell me what your health problems are.
Mm-hmm.
I'll validate you. What are your health problems?
Mm-hmm.
And because you could start that that Q&A series,
mm-hmm.
and it's just about as accurate,
right,
as if you ask someone to do the mediumship, or you ask them to do the tarot reading, or you ask them to do, because it lines up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've got these health conditions. Oh, I can sit here and start naming off what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have RA?
You're clairvoyant.
Yep. Like, oh, you're bipolar. Okay, we can tell you what you can do. Like, it's 1-to-1. It matches up. It's 1-to-1.
Right.
Yeah, Brenda says, I was always told as an explanation that there is a price for any of it. It's all energy and that affects a person. I feel like it's really damaging, though, to say that, like, you pay the price for it. Well, that's not exactly it. It's more so, a lot of it has to do with how you use it, how well you condition yourself, or not. And we have seen that be an issue for people that, you know, if you suddenly jump into this both feet and you go from, I had a spiritual awakening, to I'm doing 70 card readings a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly that you have to pay this price. It's that you may not necessarily have considered the physical ramifications before you jumped in with both feet, and then it hit you like a Mack truck.
Well, and, you know, let's flip over and look at my review while we talk about this. Okay. It's the Voodoo, and by the way, I'm keeping the task list. That's continuing on. That has been essential in the psychic planner, is having a daily tracker, because Lord knows the brain isn't there. We're going to have to figure out how to do this, because I'm working more hours, and there's more hours in the day than what's here. Like, if I start this at 9, we'll see how far it runs. I'll play with that. Yeah. But where's my weekly review?
Oh, yeah. You have to manage it. Definitely, Brenda.
Yeah.
It's just more so, I think a lot of people end up paying the price and thinking they don't have options.
Right.
That, like, that's just how this works. And it's like, right. Oh, no, it's not.
Right.
That's how it works if you don't get told what to do to avoid or minimize damage.
And this is the problem I see happening with a lot of readers.
Mm-hmm.
They will do what I call tarot for dummies, and mediumship for dummies, and astrology for dummies. And then just bypass that, practice and build your skill level, and they run a fucking marathon.
Yeah. Well, and that's probably, and it's not even like you just bought the dummies book. It's more so a lot of the classes focus on the skills, not the whole person. And what you really need is someone who, in addition to teaching and expanding your skills,
right,
also goes, okay, that's the technical side.
Right.
Let's talk about you.
Right.
Because you're going to have to do some things and make some modifications and changes in your life to support that.
Right.
Because if you don't, you're going to end up in a wheelchair. You're going to end up dead at 60. Or 50. You're gonna, really hate your life.
Well, if we look at Edgar Casey, he was told 22 reading, and granted, he done half-hour sessions. No, he done 2-hour sessions, so straight 2-hour read time. Well, in trance state time, he was told 2 readings a day, no more.
Yeah, so 4 hours a day.
Was he allowed to be in trance? He didn't listen. He didn't follow the system that his gods put into him. It's like me. I've got 22 readings to do. 22 readings a day, and I'm done. Don't ask me to read another. Unless it's like fair readings. Like fair readings don't take the tax as much.
They do. Like you do the big in-person event, you're down for a couple of days.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go so far as to say is you don't hit the gym and do the same workout as someone that's an athlete, is what Brenda said. I'll go so far as to say you don't get off the couch after a decade or 2 or 3. Because I know we know a reader that like all this hit with her 30s. You don't spend 3 decades on the couch on the sidelines and go train like an Olympian.
Right.
Like it'll bite you in the ass.
Guaranteed. And I sit and watch it. But anyway, I was listening to someone talk about the Voodoo tradition. And they said they didn't want to go and study that. Like they studied the knowledge of the tradition. They didn't want to go and do the tradition because of the physical exchange there. And that's the first metaphysical talk person that I've heard talk about the physical changes that occur in someone studying that path and clearing and cleansing and all this stuff. And I'm digging into it right now because that needs to be brought over. Voodoo, Tahitian, those are foundational traditional settings that, if we want to go root level, that's most likely where a lot of metaphysics come out of, and they got washed with, you bring it into other, as we came out of Africa, those traits are inherent. They're going to come up, they're going to bloom, and no one's taught it back like we've done with DNA. But I've seen it with every one of them. I mean, every one of our psychic friends, every one of my psychic friends, they go through massive combobulations.
Yeah. Well, and even the one I was just talking about, because, like, again, it hit her in her 30s, and she's been pretty open about, like, her different health problems. And that's with also being told, watch it. Like, you got to build up. Like, you can't run the marathon. You got to crawl first. Then you can walk. Then you can run. Then you can run a marathon. And I think even they've pointed out that every time they've pushed themselves to do just a little more and gone a little too far,
they get slapped back in place.
Yeah, it hits them like a ton of bricks. It is a Mack truck through their life.
Right.
And it's one of those things that I think they've been hit so many times now, they're finally getting, I just got to let this be and occur as it's going to be and occur.
Right.
Or I have to suffer.
Right.
So let me just try it this way now.
Right.
Because I'm tired of suffering. The suffering sucks.
Right. It does. But at the same time, sorry guys, I'm opening a sticker pack.
Yay!
I got one of the last few Moody florals, which is what we're going to be using in our 6 rings and on our weekly review.
Mm-hmm.
Love Agenda 52's Moody florals. It is gorgeous. It is flowery. It is dark. But, you know, things that I see other psychics not do. They don't do morning pages.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I have evidence. If you don't do morning pages, your days fucking confuzzled. They don't plan. How they get anything done in this world without a plan is beyond me. They don't have their numbers. Like, there's a business side of the psychic world. They don't have a clue.
I will say that's sometimes been one of the like entry level conversations that we've had a few times with as we've set clients up with like websites, which sounds weird at first. But like there's things that I need to know as the person designing your website and trying to meet your business need that have actually found a synergy in your business coaching.
Right.
Because I like what's your goal? What are you trying to do? Like, why do you want a website?
Right.
Sounds like a stupid question. Well, everyone has a website. I guess I need one too. You probably do. That's not untrue. But you have to have goals for this.
Right.
So, like, we start getting into those conversations, and some people, it's like the word go.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? Like, I just want a website. And it's like, well, that's cute. How do I measure that I'm providing what you want or what you need? That you're growing your, like, because generally the idea is you're going to grow your business through an online presence, including a website. All right. Well, where are you at now? I don't know is not a good answer.
Right.
Because then how do I know where we went?
Right.
You don't know where you are. How do I know where you're trying to go and if we got there?
Right.
Like it's like calling for an Uber and you can't drop a pin, so you're just like, I'm in front of a building.
Well, but see here, and it's a double-edged sword when we work with psychics. And here's what's the double-edged sword is: they may only gotten the one picture. You need a website. It needs to have this information on it to get you to this point. Wonderful.
And I think sometimes it's the let's go talk to these people so that I can get the additional things I need. Right. Sometimes I sincerely think that like the best thing that happens is you get the brilliant idea, I need a website.
Right.
And like it's a level of openness to start that conversation. Because there's a lot of places and a lot of ways to get a website. You can go to Wix, you can build your own, you can do WordPress.com. Buy a domain, create a website. It might do something for you. I'm just saying I've never seen it be totally successful for many people.
Right. Right. But what I'm saying is, and there's psychics that live by this rule and they just listen. What I mean by they just listen is they just follow their guides. Right. They don't learn to go back to their guide and go, excuse me, David, you did not give me the complete mission here. You just gave me the subject line.
Like you gave me a destination. You didn't tell me why we're going or how to get there.
Right. It's like one of the best well-known psychics that I respect. She doesn't read network. She has her own client base. She's like 6 months out to book. Love her dearly. Like she is a sweetheart. She will bend over backwards to help you start the business, whatever. She's doing a dream search session for a client.
Excuse me.
And her guide that helps her with this just looks at her and says, "You're moving." pack your shit. And she's like,
That's weird.
that's interesting. Like, and she goes on with the session.
Aw, Emily says, howdy, hey, hope y'all's weekend went well. I'm back home, but Minnie Maud is staying with Grandma for the rest of the week. Aw.
Aww, how cute.
Aw, very awesome.
Very
All
awesome.
right, so she's like, what the fuck? I'm moving? What?
Yeah, like, excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just paid this off. We have this beautiful farm. We're doing all this stuff.
I don't want to move.
I don't want to move.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, like, have you lost your ever-loving mind?
Mm-hmm.
I think her guide's name is like Epona, Epaka, something like that. She can bitch at me later if she sees this.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. And the next session. Florida looks nice.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
You've triggered the hers.
So Florida looks nice. You're moving to Clearwater, Florida. We're going to make that happen. Pack your shit. And she gets this for a solid month.
I don't want to move. I like my home. I don't want to move. Why would I pack my shit?
Yeah, total
sure
argument with
it's
her
gotta be the
guide.
response.
Every time he pops in and reminds her, you're moving.
Mm-hmm.
Total fit. So fine. And she's one of the ones that's lead by faith, you know, live by faith, lead by faith, live by heart, lead by heart. She pares her stuff down. She closes her shop. She moves to Florida in like 2 months.
I'm doing in Florida, but I'm in fucking Florida. Okay.
She's in Florida. Doesn't really like Florida. You know, she has a standard, what I call Joe complaints. It's too hot. It's too warm. It's too everything.
Yes.
She's sitting at one of the beaches, chilling out, and she's writing. And she just takes off writing a book. Totally new way.
Accidentally wrote a book.
Wasn't even planning it.
Right.
Longhand went through a notebook within like 3 days, writes this book, had no plans of writing a book, had no plans of doing anything with this book, never had inspiration. Total new system of psychic development. And everything. And she's like, now what do I do with it? And the guy goes, you publish it.
Look, what the hell else do you do with a book, dumbass?
Yeah.
I like her guide. This is fun. I like this guide.
Yeah. Like, get the word out. So she does this. And she, you know, builds her clientele back because, of course, she is hands-on, in-face. You must see her. She does not do internet. She does not do phone. She's a medium. She blows them up. So she's in session with it, and the guy and her guide says, "You're needed in Sedona."
I just moved to Clearwater, Florida. What the fuck?
Like a year before that, she moved to Clearwater, Florida. You're needed in Sedona. So she sells her place. She packs up what she does. She loads the RV and she drives to Sedona. And she's been there ever since. She literally, and each time, everything fell into place.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that, the home she sold where she was at, she got 3 times the market value for.
Mm-hmm.
Which enabled her to buy straight out in cash the home in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
She bought a little RV. She puts the for sale sign up. The house sells the next day for, again, twice the price. And she has
Here's your
such
resources.
Huh?
So, moment of here's your resources.
Yeah. Well, moment of you can't say you can't because I will make you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and then, you know, she met a lovely partner and like life has been great there. They've settled in. you know, and now she's like teaching in Europe three months out of the year and doing all this wonderful stuff. But it's trying to explain to like, I walked in, looked at Joe, and said, "We're moving. We're packing up. We'll be gone in a week. We're moving to LA." I'm not
Okay,
debating.
I just have to make a phone call. That's cool.
Uh-huh.
Linger, I don't know what the hell you put him on, but he is packing as I speak.
Yes.
Send the men with the butterfly dance.
Right. But learning to live in that void, that's a great way to say it, void, is really hard for people to do.
Mm-hmm.
Learning that your world doesn't matter is also one that's hard to deal with.
Well, see, I say that and I joke about it, but also I point out you're the one that has also struggled with it.
Yeah.
I've long had this general theory of like I don't stress if I'm late.
Right.
I don't stress if I can't get out the door. I don't stress if the car doesn't start. I wasn't meant to be in that place at that time.
Right. I struggle with it, but I struggle with it for different ways and different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other part that, by the way, here's our review. We'll finish up this. I struggle with it because it's like, no, I have to be here. Like that desire, that need, that anchoring is like,
yeah, you get really attached to like, I made a plan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to be here at this time, at this place to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're locked in.
Right.
Like with tenacity.
Right.
I sit here and go, I made a plan. I'm supposed to be at this place at this time to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if that plan starts blowing up in my face, I go, well, this isn't meant to happen.
Right.
Like all I can do is I can start calling people and let them know, hey, I'm running late. I don't know what's wrong, but I'll be there as soon as I can.
Right. But I've also been able to make global quick shifts in things that is just like, huh? And it's because, like, yeah, this is the way this is going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it almost needs a balance.
Right.
Like, for some things, it's great. And I don't mean any, like, disrespect to that. But there's sometimes it's like, is this a normal weekly thing, honey?
Right.
We do this every single week. Like when we were traveling to Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
We do this every week. We know what we're doing. We know how to get up. We know how to get ready for this. We know when we have to leave. We know what we need to take with us. This is like, we know this. We've got this.
Right.
But then there's sometimes that morning you just wake up and like nothing goes according.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 15 minutes later than you should have left. And you're just like,
right.
And I'm sitting here going, you know what? Whatever it is, we're not supposed to be there till later.
Right.
And then we pass the massive accident.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, kind of glad we didn't leave on time.
Exactly. All right. So let's look at the weekly review in the Psyche that Plans Planner.
Mm-hmm.
First question off the bat. What are you most proud of this week? Then you got to look at what did not work this week.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need to catch up on? Because crap gets behind. What was your numbers this week? When we're talking numbers, did you hit goals 7 days a week? Did you, hit your call count? Did you hit your talk time? Like, what's your network's metrics that you're hitting?
Mm-hmm.
What did you complete? You got to look at the other work that you've done. Did you get your socials up? Did you do your reels? Did you do all your stuff? Did you target this week? Meaning target is create above record from the previous week. What needs to change? Something may need to be changed. Something may not be working within your plan. The last one is what recharges you. Because when you're hitting max capacity, what do you need to recharge? Is it a cup of coffee? Is it going for a walk? Is it hitting the gym? Or is it just a nap?
Mm-hmm.
and then rating the week. We live on ratings, so rate your week. So next week I'll show you this. We'll see where it's at. Now I'm not going to show you decorating my 6 ring because we're at 2.5 hours. This is a long stream. So you're going to see that. I'll also show you some more monthly setup next week.
Awesome. Welcome to April, guys.
Welcome to April. Let's let the money rain, honey, because it's in the April showers.
Yes, I need some flowers in May.
Yes. All right. So with that, we hope you guys have a magical evening. Remember to take time to recharge. Also get yourself focused for quarter 2. We've got a lot of massive crap going on. We got Mercury in retrograde. We've got eclipses. We've got manifesting stuff going on that you could be anchoring yourself into. Rocket. So with that, let's flip it over to our baristas. And I do want to remind baristas, our station meeting is Wednesday.
Yes. All right, so of course we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Tracy Van, Caitlin Bell, and Devin. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become a Patreon sponsor and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, which is soon to include bigger discounts, please visit us at PCSPnetwork.com.
Yes. All right, guys, have a great evening.
Good night.